Stop right now and look at your lower legs. Do you see a patch of skin that looks red, angry, or perhaps a rusty shade of brown? Most people look at that discoloration, assume it is just dry skin or a harmless rash, and instinctively reach for the cortisone cream or a bottle of heavy moisturizer. They treat it like a mosquito bite or a patch of winter eczema. That is a massive, critical mistake. If those red spots on your shins or ankles do not itch like a bug bite, but instead burn, ache, throb, or feel incredibly heavy by the end of the day, you need to stop what you are doing immediately. That is the critical difference that most people miss until it's too late. Mosquito bites itch. Vein failure burns. If your legs feel heavy, like you are wearing lead weights around your ankles, or if that skin feels hot, tight, and shiny, your skin is not the actual problem. Your skin is just the victim. The real problem is happening deep underneath the surface, hidden from your view. It is a catastrophic plumbing failure in your internal pipes. If you ignore this, or if you keep just slathering cream on it hoping it will go away, the skin eventually changes in a way that is irreversible. It stops being skin. It turns hard. It starts to feel like wood or old dried leather. Once it gets to that stage, it can break open into venous ulcers that are incredibly difficult to heal and can rob you of your mobility for months. We have to catch this early. We have to understand what that red signal actually means right now, or we face a very long, painful road back to health. I want to take you on a journey inside your own body to understand exactly why this is happening, because once you understand the mechanics, the solution becomes obvious. I want you to visualize your body as a multi-story house. Your heart is the main water pump located in the basement. It pushes clean, fresh, oxygenated water, your arterial blood, up to the attic and out to all the rooms. That is the easy part. The pump is strong, and it has the pressure to get the water where it needs to go. But the hard part, the part that fails as we age, is getting the used, dirty water back to the pump to be recycled. In your body, the rooms furthest away from the pump are your feet and ankles. Every single second of the day, gravity is fighting against you. Gravity is a relentless force that wants everything to pull down to the floor. It wants that blood to stay in your feet. It wants to pool there. Your body has a brilliant, sophisticated engineering system to fight back against this gravitational pull. Inside the deep veins of your legs, there are tiny little valves. Think of them like one-way swinging doors in a busy restaurant kitchen. When your heart beats and your muscles move, these doors swing open to let the blood shoot up toward your chest. They allow the traffic to flow one way, home. But the moment gravity tries to pull that blood back down toward your feet, those doors are supposed to snap shut. They lock tight. They create a seal that prevents the backflow. This system works perfectly when we are young, but here's the harsh reality of aging that we need to confront. A groundbreaking 2024 study involving thousands of adults over 55 confirmed that vein valve dysfunction is one of the most underdiagnosed conditions in the modern world. As we get older, or if we stand on concrete floors for decades during our careers, or if we carry a little extra weight, those valves get tired. They get floppy. Imagine that swinging door in the kitchen has a broken hinge. It doesn't close all the way anymore. It leaves a gap. When that happens in your legs, the blood shoots up when you move, but then it immediately leaks back down through the gap the moment you relax. It falls backward. It creates a reflux. It pools around your ankles like water in a clogged drain that just won't clear. This creates a massive pressure problem. Your veins are not rigid pipes like the copper ones in your house. They are flexible living tubes. When they get overfilled with this backflowing blood, they stretch, they balloon out. The pressure builds and builds until it becomes unbearable for the microscopic vessels called capillaries. Eventually, the pressure gets so high that red blood cells are literally squeezed out of the vein walls. They are pushed through the microscopic gaps and into your skin tissue. This is where the mystery of the color is solved. Now, here is the part that explains that angry red or brown color you are seeing. Red blood cells contain hemoglobin, which is made of iron. When those cells leak into your skin and die, they break down. They release that iron directly into the tissue of your lower leg. That red or rusty brown color you see, that is not a rash. That is not an allergy. That is iron. It is the iron from your own blood cells staining your skin from the inside out. Your skin is literally rusting. That is why the creams do not work. You cannot scrub away rust that is coming from the pipes inside the wall. You cannot fix an internal leak by painting the drywall. And if you keep treating it like a surface rash, you are allowing the iron to continue to accumulate, which eventually kills the healthy tissue and leads to those open wounds we are terrified of. Your heart is a powerful pump, but it is far away from your feet. It cannot pull that heavy, stagnant blood up from your toes all by itself against the crushing force of gravity. It needs a helper. It needs a partner down on the ground floor to push the fluid up. Doctors and vascular surgeons call your calf muscle the second heart. It is that important. It is not just a muscle for walking. It is a hydraulic pump. Every time you take a step, your foot flexes. That flexion pulls on the calf muscle. The calf muscle contracts and squeezes the deep veins buried inside your leg. It acts exactly like a hand squeezing a tube of toothpaste. It shoots the blood up against gravity, forcing it through those one-way valves. It is the engine that clears the traffic jam. Without this second heart working efficiently, the blood sits there. It stagnates. It turns into sludge. And when blood turns into sludge, it becomes inflammatory. It starts to cook the tissue from the inside. But there is a major problem. There is one specific way you are likely sitting right now that destroys this mechanism. It creates a physical kink in the hose and shuts the pump down completely. Most seniors do this for hours every day without realizing it is slowly destroying their veins. I'm going to show you exactly how to check your sitting posture and fix this common mistake in just a moment, because it is the single biggest lifestyle factor you can change to save your legs. But first, we need to stop the damage you might be doing with those expensive lotions in your bathroom cabinet. You look at your legs and you see dry, scaly skin. It looks thirsty. It looks like a desert. So naturally, your instinct is to apply a thick layer of moisturizer. You slather it on. The next day, the skin is still red and angry, maybe even weeping a little fluid. So you apply even more. You layer it on thick. This is the lotion trap. Here is why this is dangerous. That skin is not dry because it lacks oil. It is dry because it is inflamed and stretched thin by the swelling underneath. When you cover that inflamed, leaking skin with thick, heavy goop, you are not healing it, you are suffocating it. You are trapping heat and moisture against skin that is already struggling to breathe. Think of a cardboard box. If you get it a little damp, it gets weak. If you keep it wet and cover it with plastic wrap, it turns into mush. It disintegrates. That is what happens to your skin. This creates a perfect greenhouse effect for bacteria. It can turn a simple circulation problem into cellulitis. Cellulitis is not a joke. It is a serious bacterial infection that spreads like wildfire under the skin. It makes the leg hot, bright red, and incredibly painful. It often requires hospitalization and heavy antibiotics. In fact, research from the Mayo Clinic confirms that improper management of stasis dermatitis is a leading cause of preventable hospital admissions for cellulitis in adults over 60. If you have been applying creams for weeks and seeing zero change, or if the redness is getting brighter and spreading, stop. Put the bottle down. The solution is not on the surface. We have to fix the pressure, not the dryness. We have to stop the leak before we paint the wall. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you tried creams that promised to fix your legs but did absolutely nothing? Or maybe they made it sting even more? Let me know in the comments below, yes or no. It helps to see that you are not the only one dealing with this frustration, and it helps our community understand just how common this misconception is. You need to learn to read your legs like a map. The color and the texture tell you exactly how much danger you are in. Bright red usually means acute inflammation. It means the fire is burning hot right now. It might even be warm to the touch. That is the active phase. But brown is different. If the spots are turning a rusty brown, bronze, or orange color, that means the iron has permanently stained the skin. That is chronic. That means the water damage has been there for a long time. It's a tattoo of past damage. But the most important sign isn't color, it is texture. I want you to do this test gently right now. Touch the skin on your shin, right where the redness is. Does it feel soft and pliable like the skin on your arm, or does it feel tight, shiny, and hard? If it feels hard, like the plastic leg of a mannequin or like a piece of wood, you are in the danger zone. That hardness is called lipodermatosclerosis. It's a big word, but it describes a scary process. It means the fat under the skin is scarring over. It's calcifying. This scarring acts like a rigid corset, squeezing the blood supply and choking the tissue. If you feel that hardness, or if your leg looks like an upside-down champagne bottle, skinny at the ankle and bulging at the calf, you cannot wait. You need to act. That champagne bottle shape happens because the scarring at the ankle is so tight, it is literally strangling the leg. We need to manually engage that second heart I told you about. We need to force that old, rusty blood out of your ankles and make room for fresh, oxygenated blood. You do not need a gym membership for this. You do not need equipment. You just need to use gravity and your own muscles to act as a manual override for your broken valves. This gives you the stability to carry groceries up the stairs without a second thought, and the freedom to walk through the park without looking for the nearest bench. Try this the next time you are sitting in your favorite chair watching TV. Keep your heels flat on the floor and lift your toes up toward the ceiling as high as they will go. Really stretch them back. You should feel a pull in your shin. Hold it for a second, then rock back and lift your heels as high as they will go, pressing your toes hard into the carpet. Squeeze the calf muscle at the top. Do this 10 times. Up with the toes, then up with the heels. This is not just wiggling your feet. This is a mechanical pump. When you lift your heels, the calf muscle bulges. It squeezes the deep veins and shoots the blood up. When you drop your heels, the veins refill. Pump, refill. Pump, refill. You are manually clearing the traffic jam. Please stop immediately if you feel any sharp pain, and always talk to your clinician if you have balance issues or a history of blood clots. But for most people, this simple rocking motion is the most effective way to mechanically lower the pressure in the lower leg. Now, let's talk about gravity. Most people get this wrong. You come home with tired, heavy legs. They feel swollen, so you sit in your recliner and pop the footrest up, or you put your feet on a footstool. You think you are helping. You are not. When your legs are on a footstool, they are horizontal. They are level with your hips. Think about a pipe lying flat on the ground. Does the water drain out of it? No, it just sits there. The blood is still stagnant. To drain the pool, the feet must be higher than the heart. We call this toes above nose. You need gravity working for you, rushing that fluid back to your core to be recycled. Here is the protocol. Lay flat on the couch or your bed. Do not use a pillow for your head if you can help it. You want your torso flat. Then prop your legs up on 3 sturdy pillows. You don't want a gentle slope, you want a steep angle. Your feet should be significantly higher than your chest level. Do this for 15 minutes. Set a timer. You will physically feel the difference. You might feel a cooling sensation or a lightness returning to your ankles. It feels like unkinking a garden hose and letting the water finally flow. If you do this every evening, you are giving your veins a reset. You are emptying the bucket so it doesn't overflow the next day. This simple act triggers a process of drainage that can reduce swelling volume by over 30% in a single session if done correctly. While you are lying there, think about hydration. It sounds counterintuitive. You see swelling, so you think, I have too much water, I should stop drinking. That is false. If you are dehydrated, your blood gets thicker. It turns into sludge. Thick blood is harder to pump than thin blood. It puts more stress on those failing valves. Drinking clear water helps keep the blood viscosity low, making it easier for your second heart to push it up the hill. If you are finding these tips helpful, hit that subscribe button so we can keep fixing your health one video at a time. It really helps us reach more people who are suffering in silence with this condition. Now, do not click away because we need to solve that mystery I mentioned at the start. Remember that sitting mistake, the one that kinks the hose? It is crossing your legs, specifically crossing one knee over the other. I know it feels polite. I know it feels comfortable. It is a habit ingrained in us since childhood, but physiologically it is a disaster for someone with vein issues. When you cross your legs at the knee, you are physically clamping down on the popliteal vein. That is the main drain pipe that runs right behind your knee joint. Imagine you have a garden hose running in your backyard. The water is flowing perfectly. Then you step on it with your full weight. What happens? The water stops flowing out the end, but the pressure behind your foot skyrockets. The hose bulges. It might even burst. When you cross your legs, your top knee acts like that foot stepping on the hose. The pressure below the knee, in your calf and ankle, spikes instantly. The blood has nowhere to go. It backs up. It pushes harder against those rusty skin patches. It accelerates the damage. Your second heart cannot pump through a closed valve. It doesn't matter how much you exercise. If you sit with your legs crossed for 3 hours a night while watching a movie or reading a book, you are undoing all your good work. You are actively sabotaging your own recovery. You have to break the habit. It takes conscious effort. Sit with your feet flat on the floor. If you absolutely must cross your legs to feel comfortable, cross them at the ankles only. Never cross at the knees. It is a small change, but it removes a massive roadblock from your circulation. It allows the river to flow freely. We also need to talk about what you wear on your feet. Not the socks, we'll get to those in a second, but the shoes. Remember how the calf muscle works? It works when the ankle flexes. If you wear rigid, heavy shoes or shoes with a totally flat sole that doesn't bend, your ankle doesn't move much when you walk. You act like a robot. If the ankle doesn't flex, the calf doesn't squeeze. You are walking, but the pump is off. You want a shoe that supports your arch, but allows your foot to roll through the step. You want to feel your toe push off the ground. That push-off is the trigger that fires the calf muscle. If you are shuffling around in loose slippers that you have to grip with your toes just to keep on, you aren't using your pump. You are dragging your feet. Secure, flexible footwear is actually part of your circulation system. It transforms every step into a therapeutic pump. Finally, we have to talk about the tool everyone loves to hate, compression socks. I know what you're thinking. I hate them. They're tight. They're a struggle to put on. They make me hot. I get it. Nobody wakes up excited to put on tight socks. It feels like a chore. But I want you to reframe how you see them. Don't think of them as socks. Think of them as an external battery pack for your legs. Your internal valves are broken. Your internal battery is dead. These socks are a bionic upgrade. When your own muscles get tired, this high-tech fabric takes over the heavy lifting. But they don't just squeeze, they apply a secret code of pressure. They are engineered with graduated compression. That means they are tightest at the ankle, 100% pressure, and they get looser as they go up toward the knee. This creates a physical funnel. It tricks gravity. Because the pressure is higher at the bottom than the top, fluid naturally wants to move up. It is simple physics. It squeezes the bottom of the toothpaste tube for you all day long. But here's the danger. Do not just go to the pharmacy and buy flight socks or generic support hose off the rack. If you buy a pair that is too tight at the top band, near the knee, it will do the opposite of what you want. It will act like a tourniquet. It will trap the blood in your leg. That is dangerous. That can actually cause clots rather than prevent them. You need to view this as a medical prescription. Go to a medical supply store, have a professional measure your ankle and your calf. You need a sock that fits your specific geometry. If it fits right, it shouldn't be painful. It should feel like a firm, supportive hug. It should make your legs feel lighter, not throttled. Think of it as an exoskeleton. You put it on in the morning and it fights gravity for you all day. Then you take it off at night and you don't have that heavy, throbbing pain. It is worth the struggle of putting them on. And here's a pro tip for putting them on. Wear rubber dishwashing gloves. The rubber grips the fabric and makes it 10 times easier to slide the sock up your leg without tearing it or hurting your fingers. And speaking of nighttime, this is another huge clue. Do you get leg cramps at night? Do your legs feel restless, like you have to move them just to get comfortable? That is often caused by the same plumbing issue. Because the old blood didn't drain out during the day, toxic metabolic waste products, things like lactic acid, are sitting in your muscle tissue. They irritate the nerves. They cause that crawling sensation. By using the pump exercises, fixing your sitting posture, and using the compression during the day, you flush those toxins out. Many people find their night cramps disappear once they fix their daytime drainage. The red spots on your legs are a warning light on your dashboard. It's your body screaming for help. Do not just paint over the warning light with cream and keep driving. You have to fix the engine. Uncross your legs to open the pipes. Pump your ankles to manually flush the system. Get your toes above your nose to let gravity drain the swamp. Use the compression as your external battery pack. Your skin will heal when the pressure is gone. It's not about a miracle cure, it's about physics. Treat your internal plumbing with respect, and the surface will take care of itself. Now, I want to address something that often goes unspoken: the fear of ulcers. Many of you watching this might already have a small open sore on your ankle that just won't heal. It might be weeping, it might be painful, and you might be terrified that it will never get better. I want to give you hope, but I also want to give you a reality check. An ulcer is essentially a pressure wound from the inside out. The pressure of the blood is keeping the wound open. It pushes the new skin cells away every time they try to form. To heal an ulcer, you must be aggressive with the toes above nose elevation. You cannot just do it once a day. If you have an open wound, you might need to do it 3 or 4 times a day. You are literally fighting a war against gravity to allow the skin edges to come together. And in this specific case, the compression sock is non-negotiable. You cannot heal a venous ulcer without compression. It is the gold standard of care. If you are struggling with a wound, please see a wound care specialist. They have advanced dressings that can absorb the fluid and protect the skin, but they will all tell you the same thing. If you don't manage the swelling, the dressing is useless. Let's also touch on diet for just a moment, because what you eat plays a surprising role in how your legs look and feel. Salt is the enemy of the swollen leg. Sodium holds on to water. It acts like a sponge. If you eat a high-sodium meal, maybe some canned soup or a processed frozen dinner, your body holds on to extra fluid to dilute that salt. Where does that fluid go? Gravity pulls it straight to your ankles. If you are fighting red, swollen legs, try cutting your salt intake for just 3 days. Read the labels. You will be shocked at how much sodium is hiding in healthy foods like bread and cottage cheese. By reducing the salt, you reduce the total volume of fluid your poor, tired veins have to manage. It is like lightening the load for a tired donkey. It makes the journey much easier. Another hidden factor is heat. We all love a hot bath or a warm heating pad on our aches and pains, but for venous insufficiency, heat is tricky. Heat causes veins to dilate. It makes them open up wider. If your veins are already stretched and ballooning, adding heat can make the swelling worse. It brings more blood to the surface, which is exactly what we are trying to avoid. Instead, try cool water. I'm not saying you need to take an ice bath, but rinsing your legs with cool water at the end of a shower can help constrict those surface vessels. It tightens them up. It can feel incredibly soothing on that burning, itchy skin. It is a simple form of hydrotherapy that you can do every single day for free. I want to circle back to the second heart because I cannot stress enough how vital walking is. But not all walking is created equal. A slow, shuffling walk does not engage the pump. You need a rhythmic, purposeful stride. We call it the heel-toe gait. You strike the ground with your heel, roll through the foot, and push off with your toe. That push off is the magic moment. That is when the calf muscle contracts fully. If you are in pain from arthritis or other issues and you can't walk briskly, that is okay. You can still work the pump while sitting, like we discussed. Or you can try water aerobics. The water pressure in a pool acts like a giant compression sock, and the buoyancy takes the weight off your joints. It is one of the best environments for healing leg veins. Just walking back and forth in chest-deep water can do wonders for reducing swelling. Let's recap the reverse countdown of priorities so you have a clear plan of action for when this video ends. Number 5, stop the heat and the heavy creams. Do not suffocate your skin or dilate your veins further. Keep the skin clean and use a gentle, breathable moisturizer only if absolutely necessary, but do not rely on it as a cure. Number 4, watch your salt intake. Don't make your body hold on to unnecessary water weight. Lighten the load on your vascular system. Number 3, master the toes above nose elevation. Do it religiously. 15 minutes every evening. Make it a non-negotiable appointment with yourself. It is your daily reset button. Number 2, engage the second heart. Whether it is through the seated calf pumps or a purposeful heel-toe walk, you must keep that muscle moving. It is the engine that drives your circulation. And number 1, the most critical secret we discussed, stop crossing your legs. Do not kink the hose. Keep the flow open and support that flow with properly fitted compression socks that act as your external battery pack. This condition, this stasis dermatitis, is not a life sentence. It is a management issue. It is your body telling you that the maintenance schedule has changed. You can't just ignore the pipes anymore. You have to be the plumber. You have to take an active role in helping your blood return to your heart. When you start doing these things, the changes can be dramatic. The angry red fire starts to cool down to a dull pink. The heavy, throbbing sensation lifts, leaving your legs feeling light and energetic. The hard, woody skin can slowly start to soften as the fresh blood supply returns. It takes time. Veins heal slowly, but they do respond to the right treatment. Don't let embarrassment about how your legs look stop you from living your life. Don't hide them away and suffer in silence. These red spots are just biology. They are just physics. And now that you have the manual, you know exactly how to fix the machine. Remember, consistency is key. You can't just do the exercises once and expect a miracle. It is the daily habit, the small, simple choices you make every time you sit down that compounds over time to give you your health back. Every time you choose to uncross your legs, you are winning a small victory. Every time you lift your heels, you are winning another. Stack those victories up day after day, and you will win the war against gravity. Check out our other great video about red spots on lower legs, why stasis dermatitis is often mistaken for rash. Tap the card on your screen right now to watch it. It goes even deeper into the specific stages of skin changes and what to look out for. Thank you for watching, and here's to your health.